video is an introduction video to the histology unit, but before we get into the actual histology, I want to take it all the way back to the beginning. So humans are made of organs, right? And organs are made of tissues. Tissues are made of cells and what we call extracellular matrix, which we'll now abbreviate from now on as ECM. All right, so we'll talk about cells a little bit more later on. Let's focus on ECM. So ECM is then made out of either a substance called ground substance or protein fibers. All right, so first, ground substance, there's a lot of different things that compose ground substance, but really what you need to know is that ground substance is a background material. It's mostly made out of water, and it really helps with communication between different types of tissues. Just like the water helps with diffusion of substances, that kind of communication. So that's really all you need to know about ground substance. Protein fibers, there are 3 of them, all right? So first we have collagen. So anytime you hear the word collagen, you should immediately think tensile strength, all right? So that's kind of like collagen's catchphrase. So it's a really compact protein structure, and it's there for structural support of other materials in tissues. Next we have elastic. And elastic fibers are made out of elastin, all right? So these guys, when you're looking at them under a microscope, they're gonna appear really wavy, all right? That waviness of the elastin helps with contracting and recoil of these fibers. So elastic fibers are found in organs that are constantly contracting and expanding. And then you have, lastly, the reticular fibers. So reticular fibers are kind of described as a net. So just think of a nice net, right? They're also going to be supporting other structures. They're mostly found in tissues, like soft tissued organs, like the liver. Yeah, just structural support. Collagen, it's more like tight bands that provide support, where reticular is just a nice mesh, a nice little net. You fall into a net and it catches you and it's soft landing. All right, so let's go back to cells. All right, so when we're talking about cells, we're not going to go into the whole composition of cells. We already know that. We've taken biology before. So we're going to talk about cell junctions. All right, so cell junctions are how cells communicate with one another. There's 3 different types that we're going to go over in this video. There are more. So first up, we have tight. All right, so tight junctions are basically creating barriers between cells. They prevent things from moving through. All right, so let's say this is a cell and this is a cell. Here's a tight junction, here's a tight junction, here's a tight junction. Nothing's getting through. They're nice and secure. All right. Next we have gap. So gap is exactly that. There's a gap between cells. All right. So we have a cell here and then a nice little pathway where things can move through cells either directions. There is, a protective barrier that, substance will have to like pass through, make sure it's approved by the other cell. But there is communication, that cell-to-cell communication between with gap junctions. All right, and then lastly we have desmosomes. All right, so desmosomes are crazy strong. All right, so we have a cell, and here is your desmosome. All right, we're gonna color him in, and he basically latches in to this cell and then this cell, and really just links the cells so strongly. It just becomes really, really tight. They describe it as like a mechanical strength. All right, so these types of cell junctions are found in tissues, that it's really important that there's a strong barrier, like cardiac muscle tissue in the heart. All right, so understanding these different types of junctions and where they might be in different types of tissues, and then also understanding the composition of the tissues, either ground substance, which when we actually look at different types of tissues, we probably won't see because it's mostly water, and protein fibers. So we have three different types of protein fibers, and they all are described differently. They all will appear differently microscopic. These things are going to help you determine which types of tissues are found where in the body or what they look like. It's going to help you identify them and really navigate through the body and all of these different types of tissues that this unit is going to go over. All right,